Good evening, ladies, gents, and Pikachus. I will apologise in advance to you for my rather exasperated manner, but I really think people need to wise up to what's going on here and realise there is a good reason why Islam will never be at peace, why everything they tell you or lead you to believe is false, and why you need to understand this for your own good. So, here we go. I'm your host, Daily Corvid. Let's get started. Oh, good God, give me strength. Right, let's go through it from the top. So there is a reason why Islam can never be at peace. And contrary to popular belief, it is not the Quran. The Quran is a big part of why they are the way they are, and that's the reason they're going to give us why they turned out that way. And they say, we are only accountable to Allah, we only follow Allah. Everyone else who doesn't follow our Allah is therefore evil and bad, and they are at war with us. That's what they believe. They believe if you don't follow the Quran and worship Allah, then you are at war with them. So therefore the entire world is like aggressive towards them. That's how they feel. No matter whether you claim to be peaceful, or whether you accept them in your communities and you're nice to them, you give them charities, they don't care. They do not care at all. In their heads, the fact that you are not already an Arab Muslim worshipping person, that means you are malevolent. You know, you're evil in your heart. You're bad. You can never be fixed. Apart from when Allah sends you to hell to burn forever. That's the fix for you. But the reason that the Muslims are like this, even though it seems like it's the Quran, and I think getting rid of the Quran is the first step to solving the problem of Islam, the Quran isn't the main reason. The main reason is Allah. Allah is the reason why the Quran exists. Allah is the reason why Islam exists. Allah is the core notion of Islam. And the reason this is a problem is because even though they say we're only accountable to Allah, we only have commands from Allah, we serve Allah, everything we do, Allah, 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 that's what they say. None of them have ever seen Allah. None of them have ever heard Allah. Allah doesn't directly communicate with any of them. There is no evidence or factual basis for anything that Allah has ever said or done, or the commands that he's given, apart from this book. And guess what? Even though they tell the permissible lie that this book is perfectly preserved and it's always said the same thing, this book changes every few years so that they can use it as a propaganda tool against us. That's the reason why Islam will never stop being at war. It's not because of the Quran as it is now. It is the fact that if this version of Quran doesn't work, they'll change it. Then they will claim that is perfectly preserved. If that one doesn't work, they'll change it more. They'll keep on changing it to match the current conditions until they have dominated the whole world with Islam. Then that will go in the bin, and they'll just write a new one that says, oh, Islam was always the case. Allah's prophecy was right in the beginning. So, please, if you're not going to watch the whole series of videos, if you're not going to study this stuff, if you're not going to keep an eye on what these guys do and recognise when you're being played for a fool, if you only learn one thing from my channel and me, let it be this. Allah is a fluid concept that they use to wash away your doubts and questions in the same way that Allah does with them. You're not allowed to have doubts or questions. And if what you require to have no doubts or questions is evidence, then they were happy to manufacture that evidence for you and give it to you. And the current evidence they are using is this. But as we know, 20 years ago, the Quran didn't read the same as this. 100 years before that, it didn't read the same then. 1,000 years, it didn't read the same then. And when it was first penned, it was totally different. Yet they claim, with their permissible lies, it's perfectly preserved, it's the word of Allah. And that is the reason they have to follow it to the letter, but they don't. They only follow it to the letter if the letter agrees with what they want to do now. That is the reason why we cannot ever have peace with these guys. They don't want peace. They use every single tool available to them, a la The Art of War, the Xin Shi book that people think is from Chinese author. That book is the same as this. What that says is, dominating your opponent, winning a war at any cost, means you have to claim to be their friend, You have to show weakness when you're actually strong. You have to look like you can't attack them when you're just about to attack them. You have to split their allies from each other and cause division amongst the people. You have to pull them out of position, waste all their supplies, and you have to be willing to throw your own troops into the fire. If you do all of these things, then after the campaign you can say you had a victory, but your victory will not be a proud one. So therefore you will be lying about how you made that victory happen. And that is exactly what this does. It's what Islam is. It's a lie. They will say or do anything they need to. They will lie to you, your family. They will lie to the press. They will lie to governments. They will lie to each other. They will deny anything they need to. They will confirm anything they need to. If it means Israel gets destroyed, Christianity gets destroyed, Buddhism, atheism, agnosticism, everything else gets destroyed, all country flags get destroyed, and Islam dominates the world. That is their goal. That's what the jihad is. So no, it doesn't matter if you find nice friendly Muslims to appeal to for peace. It won't work. They will tell you it will work. They will string you along for as long as they can to get more time for the jihad and to get you to not attack them and to give them money. But as soon as the jig is up, you're dead. They'll kill you, cut your head off. They will do this with countries. They will do this with businesses. They will do this with individuals. They do not care, because in their heads, this is a morally justified crusade against evil people, us. They think we are born of evil souls, because Allah's currently telling them that. And we have it sealed into our hearts. We can never change. And guess what? The only people that don't get affected by Allah's curse, Allah's disease, are Arab Muslims who have never believed anything else, who never had any doubts or questions, and 100% use their entire life and resources to fight Allah's cause of the Holy Jihad, which means killing infidels, non-believers, Christians, Jews, apostates, atheists, pagans, Buddhists, everyone, so that Allah can dominate the world with Islam. But as we went through, there is no Allah. Allah doesn't speak. Allah is never seen. Allah is Satan. It's a spirit of evil that drives people to do evil things, like lie, like deceive, come out with false doctrines, racist and genocidal wars come out of this spirit, and everything else. And that's the thing you have to understand about Islam. When you say, oh, we'll play them at their own game, that's what they want. They want you to engage with them so that they can waste your time and your resources, confuse you, pull you out of position, and they can lower the chance that you will successfully defend yourself from the jihad that they are doing right now and planning to carry on. That is why Biden is wrong when he says, oh, there's a chance for a ceasefire. No, there fucking isn't. There's a chance for a two-state solution. No, there is not. Oh, there's a chance for peace in the Middle East. Not until these guys go away. These are the guys that cause all the wars in the Middle East. And that is why every single war in the Middle East involves them. Why they target the Jews consistently and blame everything on the Jews. But notice, they had enemies in the past other than the Jews, but they wiped those people out. So now they've changed it and they can say, oh, it's always only been the Jews. No, it hasn't. Medina, where their Islamic culture came out of, used to be a thriving culture with many religions in it, and it had no Arabs there. But Muhammad conquered in and murdered everybody, and destroyed all their other cultures. Egypt used to have a pantheon of gods, tons of different religions there, each god had its own religion, wiped them all out completely, only Islam is there now. Algeria, Tunisia, Syria, Iran, Lebanon, all these places, even Jordan, they used to have different religions in there. Some Christians and Jews, but other religions as well. Guess what? They're all wiped out. Now, do you think those guys weren't getting the same treatment? You don't think the Islam guys were appealing to them for peace and saying, you guys are evil, you just want war, you're infidels to Allah, this is only happening because you don't worship Allah, please worship Allah. If you worship Allah, we'll stop attacking you. Of course they were. But it didn't stop Allah from wiping them out, did it, via his Muslims? And that is what we have in store for us if we don't wake up and smell the coffee, realise what's going on here. This is a lie, Islam is a lie, and the lie is functioning a purpose. And unfortunately for us, that purpose is our deaths. Wiping us out entirely, along with our culture, our families, our traditions and our history, so that Allah can then claim his original prophecy was actually true, write a new Quran that backs up how everything he ever said was true, and then for the rest of time Islam will dominate the planet. That's what his prophecy is in here. But I mean, like I always say, don't take my word for it. Buy it and read it yourself. Study it yourself. Read Reliance of the Traveller. If they try and tell you, oh no, we don't do that stuff anymore, we're just cultural Muslims, we're just flavour Muslims. No, that is a lie, a permissible lie, described in their penal code, which is current, described in the Reliance of the Traveller, which covers all the different sects of Islam, not just one, Sunni or Shia or Alawite, it covers all of them. And even though they disagree on many things and they want to kill each other most of the time, the one thing they agree on is this: all other cultures and religions and countries and people are unanimously evil and need to be destroyed in order that Allah can reach his day of judgment. And then Muslims who survive can pass through the holy door of honour, get to the hidden mosque and get their virginal brides. That is the goal. Conquest and war, deletion of everybody else in order to get virginal brides. And we just don't understand that. We have a nicer culture. We have a more loving, a more progressive, more ambitious culture. So we cannot understand dark age thinking. Caveman thinking like that doesn't work for us. We think that can't be right. It is right. It's not right for us. We disagree with it. We would never do that. We would never stoop to such disgusting evil tactics. Such a lack of ambition isn't befitting for intelligent, wealthy Westerners. That's part of the reason they hate us. Because they wish they had that, and they never will, because Allah, because propaganda, because lies. So, in conclusion, never trust Islam. And when I say never trust Islam, I don't mean just don't trust Islam. I mean, don't ever think that you can have a negotiation with these guys which will end well for you, because they will lie to you until it is too late for you to notice, and that knife goes in your back and you are done. So if you want to safeguard your own safety and your life, and you want to keep the world going with good, fruitful, loving cultures which can coexist together like everyone else seems to have learned how to do apart from Islam, then keep this conversation in mind and you will do no wrong. So that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed that and you learned something. God bless you all, and I'll see you lovely people in the next one. Bye now. And what you've got to keep in mind is it's easy to be peaceful. Anyone can be peaceful if they want to be. All you've got to do is stop fighting. So if they can't manage it, you've got to wonder why. Anyway, that's the end of it for now. God bless you all. Have a lovely evening, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.